had a family meeting and decided that they need to get used to us. We're the future.
There we are. There we are.
So I must say I missed this. I missed doing this. I really did. And I missed you all. Really, it was. But you know, it was. It's a lot to move. You know, we were moving 30 years worth of stuff. We moved it
Yeah.
right. But now we're pretty settled in here. My book is out. It's out. That's off my back now. And, you know, I got most of the money back that I needed for it, and it's good. You know, I'm feeling, feeling like like my life is manageable now. I can do, like I have things to do, and I have time to do them.
That's
So
awesome. That's a great place to be.
yeah, and I have to tell you, my wife is so happy. This is her dream house. It's her dream house. You know, she just walks around and she'll stop in the kitchen and look at me and go, Don, I am so happy. I'm like, what kind of husband has a wife that says that to him all the time? after,
I do.
after 40 years. Oh, Kevin does? That's good.
Lucky man.
Yeah. Well, I think luck is really the key thing, isn't it? Like, before you're born, if they lay out a bunch of options for you, if lucky is in there, I would say pick lucky. It's better than rich. It's better than handsome. It's better than all of it. Luck will get you places that nothing else will go get you. So,
Well, I think you've had another L word in there too, love.
yeah.
You got a lot of that in your life and you give a lot of it. And I think that's come back to you.
Well, I appreciate that. I think when you do it, you don't do it because you want it back, but it does a lot of times come back. So now Sarah's here. We can start, right? It's a
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
since we all haven't been together for a while, why don't we start out by just everybody talking to each other? It's like we are really a group of friends, even though you're all holograms. So
Yeah, right. Holograms.
this, the hologram from New Mexico just spoke.
Hey, everybody.
Hey
Hi.
there.
Hi.
Uh,
I've missed these concerts and I've missed you all. This was a highlight of my Thursday, of my week every week.
Is that Moira talking?
Yep, all the way from Detroit.
Oh man, I was just there.
Wow.
Thank you, Moira. So Tim Mason, I have to tell you, I'm reading Mary Gaucher's book, and the OVNer is all over the front end of that book. Have you read it?
No, it is definitely on my list. I want to do that for sure.
It's. I mean, I'm about 3 chapters into it, and it's pretty good. It's sort of light reading. But it's very focused and good. So Mary Gauthier, in case any of you know, is someone that came up with me in the folk music scene, and she jumped
Okay.
big. She all of a sudden was, Bob Dylan was playing her music on his radio show, and she's got a lot of accomplishments out there in the world. And so I never bothered her, but she bought my book and read it and bought my other book. So then we started talking. So I've been having a conversation with her lately. So her book is called Saved by a Song, and it's about songwriting. And she also had a program. Brandon, will you keep an eye on that for me, Brandon? She had a program where she would take soldiers who had been through trauma and war and teach them how to write songs. About how to express themselves, and that was very successful. And she talks about that in there. But she gets her inspiration for the way she writes happened at the old Vienna. She describes hearing somebody sing a line there, an open micer, that just like changed who she was. So the OV is well represented in the front end of that book, Tim. So
What's her name?
I beg your pardon?
What's her name?
Mary Gaucher, but you'd never know it to spell it that way. It's spelled like Gauthier, Gauthier, and the book is called Saved by a Song. I can't give you my full review of it because I'm only writing a little bit, but I really love her a lot, and she's also very generous. I think that around here, Tim, do you know this story that uh, that she helped Lori McKenna get her deal with Faith Hill early in the game.
Yes, I do know that story. It's just absolutely amazing. And for Mary to have come from running a Southern restaurant and then just deciding to drop it, pick up the guitar, and turn into the powerhouse that she has. I mean, that is just a stunning story. I mean,
Go ahead, Tim. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, you want any illustration that choices are possible for you, just look to Mary's story and see all the twists and turns that she's taken.
Is that coming from you, Tim? The background noise?
It might be Shannon's in the other room. Let me mute and shut the door.
All right. Well, I'm probably gonna start singing here pretty soon, but I love you and I miss you, Alan. Good to see you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna hit you up. I need to get in touch with Ellen Kennedy. So, but that's for later.
Okay.
Carry on. It's great seeing everybody here.
All right. So before we go, let me just talk to Sarah. Sarah, how are you, my dear?
Oh, I'm okay. I'm really okay overall, but I've been sick since December 18th with a cough and congestion. It's not COVID. I've tested like 6 times now. Doctor thinks it's bronchitis and it's just going to take 6 weeks. So it's week 5. So I'm hoping by next week I'll be better.
Okay. Well, we deal with that here a lot because my wife has that, and her thing that she just learned now and that she swears by is Mucinex, just so you know.
Okay. All right.
Every day, even when you don't feel good, because she's every pollen season in the spring and the fall, she's dying. But now she's got this stuff, and she found a cure. All right. So
Well, it's good to see you guys. I missed you guys so much.
Right. So Alan, I have written on my calendar to get you the information I need to give you for. I'm going to probably to get that done tomorrow. So just so you know, I'm going to be playing at Alan's. I don't know if it's his, but the storytelling festival that Alan is part of in Kansas, and that's going to be in April. And Kansas is not that far from Nebraska. Go ahead.
We will be there.
3 weeks, I'll be going up to Kearney for their festival.
Right. So you're doing your festival in Kearney. COVID be damned. Is that it? Right.
Well, actually, we're a month late. I think, we normally are in January. And because of all kinds of stuff going on here, we had to postpone it. I don't know what. They're willing to come. We've warned them. We're all going to wear masks. I'm not going to go anywhere without it.
Right.
Alan's going to come, and we're going to come and see you in Kansas. So.
Well, Alan's already had COVID, so he's invincible. That's one thing. If I got COVID and I recovered, which a lot of people are getting it, like Meg said she had it and was just sick for a couple of days, I think the first thing I do after that is go out to dinner and just sit in a public place just to see what that feels like. All right. I'm not sure I remember how to do this. We'll give it a try. Rascal is a dog, he ain't too bright. Me and Rascal were sitting on the couch last night when my woman come in and started to cry. She looked at us with such terror in her eye. She said, I have raised these children for 18 years, and now they're growing up and they're moving out of here, and my big reward for all I've been through is this dog as dumb as mud, and you, yippee-yahoo. Rascal looked at me in disbelief. He said, she can't be talking about you and me. She's got us to spend the rest of her whole life with. Will you please tell her how incredibly lucky she is? And I said, who's gonna love you any better than me? happiness will wake you up every morning with a big wet kisses when we hear the police sirens in your neighborhood. Throw our heads up in the air and we howl for you. Ow! That's cool. You gotta admit, that's pretty cool. Well, you know, I don't believe we had succeeded in convincing her of the outrageous good fortune that had befallen her. In fact, instead of looking happy as she could be, she looked a little bit, well, you know, suicidal to me. But hey, kids go to college, kids move away, but dogs and husbands, that's who stays. To you it seems like a big trick of fate, but me and that rascal don't see it that way. We're thinking, ain't we cuddly, ain't we cute? We're both real funny, we're both real true. There's another thing about us that is very cool. If you scratch us on our belly, our left leg moves. And you gotta admit that's cool. Ooh. Ow. Well, okay, so maybe we ain't that smart. We're a couple of mutts with a lot of heart. But no one could ever love you better or give you more loyalty than this dog. As dumb as mud. This dog is dumb as mud, and this dog is dumb as mud. And me, how lucky can one girl be? She's got a dog like you and a man like me. We'll be together well into this next century. Put that knife down, baby. And I'm back 2 months out.
All right, John. Woo!
Jim, I'm looking at your dog photograph on your thing here, and it was making me laugh while I was singing this song. All right. So I'm going to write a song. I'm good for one song a year now. So I'm just telling you. And the way that I write now is that it takes me a month to get so that I can figure out what I'm doing. So I team up with somebody. I have my friend John Svedke, and we met today. We're talking, and I have a general idea, and then I'm going to work on it. But what I'm trying to get at is, like, I'm afraid to turn my phone on these days. Like, unmute everybody so I can hear you. I'm just going to talk for a while. I'm 65. I'll be 65 pretty soon. Like, you know, everybody that was 15 years older than me, every time I wake up, their obituary is in my phone. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, you know, saying goodbye to a lot of people. And what I want is to write something that celebrates the kindnesses of the people that I've had to let go without being maudlin, you know, and without being trite about it. I'm trying to thread this line and give it something that people can sing, and I'm using as an idea, like the way that Auld Lang Syne is, like those chords like that, you know. Should acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of Auld Lang Syne? Like that's an old folk song from the 1700s, that melody. And the mixture of major and minor chords in it kind of sets this mood, which is serious and but not but not depressing, but not mournful. It's kind of hopeful. So I'm trying to see if I can get in there somewhere. Just so you know what I'm doing. Like, I'm going to write one song this year. I'm shooting in there. What I'd like to have is a song that everyone could sing together about the people that they love, just rejoicing in the kindnesses that they left behind, not lingering on their sense of loss. I'm not sure it's actually possible to do it. It's kind of a tall order, but I like challenges like that. So, all right. So that's what I'm doing. Just so you know. Since I don't have to
include
write
a line, if you can
What's that?
include a line about my dad teaching me how to drive while drinking, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll do two versions, like the irreverent version and the other one.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. We'll see how it comes. But now that I don't have to write a book anymore,
Sounds like a John White special.
That's right. So my friend Blaine died recently, and Blaine was a radical. Like, every suffering that happened in the world, he felt it. He was an empath, and I just worried about him so much. Like, in the world where there's so much suffering, to be a person who feels every suffering that they read about, I was so worried about him. I used to say to him, Blaine, you have to be a joyful warrior. And he would say to me, Don, I'm trying to be a joyful warrior. I'm like, right, Blaine, you still go to battle, but you remember that you're fighting for joy. So I played sort of a tribute to him last night, and I played this for him. All the work gets done in the valley. All the money rains down on the mountain top. When the money trickles down to the people in the valley, it's only one little drop to feed the family, one little drop to pay the medical bill, one little drop to pay the mortgage to the banker who sold it to the man at the top of the hill. Oh, they work so hard to divide us with a steady stream of lies. 'Cause if we ever stop fighting with each other, we might start asking each other why. If all the work gets done in the valley, why does all the money rain down on the mountain top? When the money trickles down to the people in the valley, it's only one little drop to feed the family, one little drop to pay the medical bill, one little drop to pay the mortgage to the banker who sold it to the man at the top of the hill. Keep buying those politicians and those TV newsmen too. Make them say every day that my problem is my neighbor, when I know my problem is you. Just keep lying about corporate tax breaks, how the jobs are gonna trickle down. But beware of the day when the people say that they are sick of being trickled on. One little drop to feed the family, one little drop to pay the medical bill, one little drop to pay the mortgage to the banker who sold it to the man at the top of the hill. Enjoy your view of the valley from that house on top of the hill. Right now the giant is sleeping, that doesn't mean that it always will. 'Cause when the sleeping giant starts moving, it is impossible to stop every flood that ever washed a city away. You know it started with a little drop. One little drop will start an ocean, one little drop will start the rain, one little drop will start the flood that's coming to wash the gilded city away. If all of the work gets done in the valley, why does all the money rain down on the mountain top? When the money trickles down to the people in the valley, why is it just a little drop?
Yeah.
Fun.
Oh, look,
I've never
everybody's
heard
saying
that one
yeah.
before.
What's that? Say that again?
I've never heard that one before.
Was it okay?
It was wonderful.
Good. Then you can stay.
Thank you.
Welcome to stay now. Thank you. So Jen is here. Jen, let me see you for. Oh wow, I feel.
Hi, Eleanor. Hi, Jen.
Wow, look at this, and Eleanor's here. Wow. All right. Let's do that then. All right, so this really is not about me. It's for everybody to watch Eleanor, okay? So Eleanor, put on a gallery view if you can. Brandon, maybe like in the middle of it, if it's working well, keep an eye on Eleanor. You can spotlight her just for a minute. If it, use your judgment on that. Like if Eleanor's into it, I think she should be spotlighted.
Gotcha.
There is a little girl with pretty curls. She's about 5 years old, and she is waiting at the gate for her dad to come home. When he pulls around the corner in his shiny white car, she feels the magic light up in her heart. And he picks her up and he holds her. He says he missed her. He's glad that she is here. As the child lays her head on his shoulder, she whispers these words in his ear. Daddy, I know exactly what love is. Love is real, simple, and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. Now she is 20 and there's plenty of love everywhere. She's getting married, so her family and her friends are all there. They've gathered this morning to stand at her side as she waves goodbye to this time in her life. And they each take a moment to hold her and to tell her what she means to them. In a world that seems to keep getting colder, she has been blessed with a warm family and friends. She says, I know exactly what love is. Love is real, simple, and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. Now they are older and no one told her it got crazy like this. They're going to night school, they're working jobs too, and they're raising 3 kids. The youngest one is crying with a bruise on her knee. She needs attention and she needs sympathy. And when she picks her up and she holds her, that old magic lights up in her heart. And as the child lays her head on her shoulder, she knows exactly why they're working so hard. Little girl, I know exactly what love is. Love is real, simple, and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. Now they are 60 and their history spans 40 odd years. They have buried their parents, now their grandkids are here. There's something about the way they look in each other's eyes that speaks softly about the meaning of life. And when he puts his arm out to hold her, it feels so familiar and warm. She thinks love is an expanding endeavor till your last breath from the moment you're born. Now She is 80 and she hates being in this nursing home. Her man's been gone now for a long while and she feels so alone. She closes her eyes and she begins to pray that a little comfort might just come her way. And God lifts her up and he holds her, and she remembers this feeling she has. She is not a woman whose life is almost over. She's a little girl being held by her mom. And God, I know exactly what love is. Love is real simple and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. And God, love is real simple. Love is real simple. Love is real simple and true. Let's hear for Eleanor right there.
All right, Eleanor.
So Jen, go ahead and unmute. Let's talk a little bit.
She's singing, so fair warning.
She's singing. Well, good. So that's so amazing. Like this kid was familiar with that song before she was born, right?
Yep. I played it to her every day when I was pregnant.
Well, I'm glad to see you and you're well. Jen, you and your husband, everybody okay?
Yep.
Good. All right. Well, be safe out there. I'm going to try to get back to Michigan in May, as long as the world is still turning. Maybe we'll see you then.
All right. Sounds great.
Thanks for singing along, Eleanor. So since we're taking care of the young people today, I see Amy and her daughter are over here from Kentucky, and Delia has a nice hat on today. Nice, beautiful hat. So I'm going to play her song, which is kind of the opposite of that song right there. This is called Psycho Mom and Dad. Sometimes Delia feels so inspired that she'll dance in the middle of this, but no pressure on you there, Delia, but happy to play it for you. Amy, I assume, is off camera. If you are, Amy, I hope things are well with you down there in Kentucky, and I hope to get down there too, maybe in the fall, it looks like, possibly. Alright, here you go, Delia. Mom come home from work today. I tell you what she saw. Every toy that me and my sister owned was laying out on the floor. And the table was covered with peanut butter and half-eaten sandwiches. There was cereal bowls, over jar of mayo, and an empty can of tuna fish. Dad was eating a pizza, he had 3 slices gone. Sports page was laying on the living room floor, and the football game was on. When I tripped over my toy transformer, that pushed her over the edge. And that's when we knew she was turning into Psycho Mom again. She's screaming, I'm fed up, finished, through. I've had it up here, I'm running away. Leaving today, I'm gonna join the carnival. The person selling you kids for $1 a pound to a couple of cannibals. I used to be normal, used to be calm. Picking up after you animals turned me into Psycho Mom. I was working and Dad was babysitting us the other night. Me and my brother started yelling at each other and we got into a fight. We were punching, kicking, scratching, pinching, pulling each other's hair. Just about the time we knocked the TV over, we saw Dad standing there. His blood was bubbling, he didn't say nothing. Stood there at the door. Me and and my brother took a look at each other and we looked up from the floor. And Dad started to scream like a wild banshee and started pulling out his own hair. And that's when we knew he was psycho too, and we better get out of there. He's screaming. Okay, now spotlight her, if you don't mind, Brandon. We're fed up, we're finished, we're through. We've had it up to here with all of you. We're running away, we're leaving today. We're gonna join the carnival. First selling you kids for a penny a pound. To anybody that will take you, we used to be normal. Never got mad. Raising you animals turned us into psycho mom and dad. There you go. The skunk show over there in Kentucky. Nicely done. Beautifully done. Oh, man. All right. Anybody want to hear anything? Just, Thank you, those of you that bought my book. You helped me get my money back. I spent for it and groceries, so I really appreciate that. And so that means a lot to me. I am not writing another book for a long time. I promise you that. I promise you. It almost killed me to do it. Walked into the room like she was walking off a cliff. In my mind I said, what kind of shattered angel is this? Her walk said I surrendered, and her face, I've had enough. Her eyes were holes, they were dark and cold. They said I've given up. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. I said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. You know, life rains down so hard upon some people that we know. It tears their faith and their hope away, and they walk around like ghosts. When we see them, they are breaking, and as their spirit dies, but deep inside, we still believe they'll come around and fly. I saw an angel in as if the pieces all fell from the sky. I said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. Now she walks across the room like she could walk across the sky. Those old dark eyes are so alive. They set the room on fire. This is no shattered angel. I say to myself, I feel Zuzu's petals. I hear one small bell. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. I said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. Look how beautiful you are.
Beautiful, Dawn.
Thank
Just
you.
beautiful.
Lovely
Hey,
as
Don.
always.
We've got a couple of requests. Marsha had More Alive. Kylie on YouTube had B16 with me. And we've also got MTV Love Song by Lynn DeRozier.
And that gives a thumbs up from Sarah. So let's see. So death, teenagers, and death.
Yes.
Sounds like a very spirited show. Okay, I'll do all of that. And thanks to everybody. Brandon, if you don't mind, you throw in the information into the chat.
Of course.
People can come over here if they want. Also, if you're on another platform and you want to be here so I can see you and hear you and feel you, as they say, in a polite way. That would be great. But also, this. If you want to help out with the grocery bill and help pay Brandon, who does miracles behind the scene here, you should see what we were doing at Soundcheck today, trying to make sure that our guests sounded well. We pay him and he can buy some groceries too. So that's all available in your respective chats. And in return for your consideration in these matters, I will play whatever the heck you want. If I can, like my voice is like, it's 2 months I haven't sang a note really, so see what happens. So I think if I'm gonna do death, teenagers, and death, I shouldn't put the two death ones together. I lost my mother, I lost my father. Well, I really didn't lose them, know exactly where they both are. It's not like they went for a walk, took a wrong turn and both got lost. It just hurts less to say I lost them than to say they're dead. Betty May is 82, having more fun than me and you. All she wants to do is laugh and sing. She's the biggest flirt I ever seen. Still flutters those baby blues like she did when she was 22. So much mischief in those eyes, I never seen someone more alive. More alive, more alive, waiting on the other side of all the sorrow and the trouble in your life. There are so many sad goodbyes in a long and well-lived life. If they don't break you, they can make you more alive. When my mother died, I was so smashed up inside. I was crying like a baby. I thought the pain might kill me. And Betty said, son, you won't believe how many loved ones I buried. My father, sister, my brother, my son, my husband, and my mother. And every time I lose a friend, I think I'm never going to laugh again. I lay around and watch bad TV till this feeling comes over me. And then I put some music on and play my favorite song, dance around my living room like I did when I was 22. Shake loose of that pain inside on the day when you decide not only will I survive, I'm going to be more alive, more alive, more alive, waiting on the other side of all the sorrow and the trouble in your life. There are so many sad goodbyes in a long and well-lived life. If they don't break you, said, go ahead, feel your pain. Watch bad TV 4 days, but when you're ready to come out and play, you come see Betty May. And we'll put some music on and play your favorite song. Dance around my living room like we both were 22. And shake loose of that pain inside on the day when you'll decide. Not only will you survive, you're going to be more alive, more alive, more alive, waiting on the other side of all the sorrow and the trouble in your life. There are so many sad goodbyes in a long and well-lived life. If they don't break you, they can make you more alive. There are so many sad goodbyes in a long and well-lived life. If they don't break you, in time they can make you more alive.
Well, Dawn.
Thank you, Dawn.
I've been feeling that one lately. Like, I don't know if it's the age I am or the time I am, but man, I've been, like, you know, whatever. Just, I can remember my grandfather being, I may have said this to you before, he was like probably 80 something, and he was sitting at his desk and he pointing at a picture of all his brothers, and he was pointing at it saying, this is my brother Arthur, this is the year and the date that he died. And, you know, he just pointed to them all, and I just thought, if you live to be old like that, man, you gotta let go of people and this, you know, whatever. You gotta figure out how to deal with it. Until you're the person looking up that everybody's looking down at, you gotta figure out how you feel about it. So here, our kids are grown, they're both in their 20s. They live at home, they are never going to leave. And why should they go? They've got it good here, you know. Their food, their phone, their rent is free. They would have to be out of their minds to leave. But I was thinking, what if things were different? You know, living here at home with you and me. What if we decided we could act like they both did when they were in their teens? So wake up, Mom, climb out of this window. I have got the key, let's steal our daughter's car. We will both get really drunk, we'll put a big dent in her trunk, and we'll drive real fast on the thoroughfare. If we get a speeding ticket, hey, we won't care. We'll be the ones up all night acting wild, and they'll be the ones up all night worrying. Wake up, Mom, climb out of this window. Come on out and be 16 with me. Picture our kids calling all of our friends up and asking them if they know where we are. Of course, all our friends will lie and say they ain't seen us all night, but we'll be standing right beside them while they're on the phone, smoking, drinking, and carrying on when we come strolling home on Sunday morning. You know, around 10 o'clock while the neighbors walk to church. Our kids will ask us where we've been, and then they'll ask us again, and we will just make up a great big lie and swear that it's the truth until the day we die. And they'll be the ones trying to find the truth out, and we'll be the ones who are lying through our teeth. And when under pressure will confess that we had unprotected sex, and that will gross them out so much they might just start to think about moving out if turnabout is fair play in this life. Then what better way to encourage them to live than to give them both a dose of what it was like to live with them when they were in their teens. So wake up, mama, climb out of this window. I have got the key, let's steal our daughter's car. We will both get really drunk, but we'll put a big dent in her trunk, and no one will know where we are until we come home in the police car. We'll be the ones up all night acting wild, and they'll be the ones up all night worrying. Wake up, mama, climb out of this window. Come on out, be 16 with me. There we go.
Woo.
The crowd goes wild.
Love that song.
Thank you. The crowd is going totally wild. Those of you on other platforms you can't see, but everybody's taking their clothes off. It's out of control here. I can't take it. I see my friend Jill is here. Jill, will you unmute yourself so I can talk to you? How are you?
I am well and I'm healthy. Thank you very much. How are
Well,
you? You're good. I can tell.
That's my second question, that you're healthy, right? So no problems for you?
Nope. Thankfully. Nope.
And but are you doing music out there, or are you taking a break from it, or what's the deal?
Well, we have done a couple of shows this fall. Yes, the one this past Sunday, we wound up doing remotely, virtually, because the COVID here is not, it's not nice anywhere, but the numbers are pretty high. So we didn't want to take the chance.
You're in a you want to just tell everybody about what you're doing, so in case they want to know, so
Sure.
Pennsylvania that you're in and all that.
Certainly. Don knows the venue. He's been there a couple of times. Yeah. It's River Vibes Concerts at the Cooperage in Honesdale, Pennsylvania. The series has been going on now for 12 years. I do monthly shows, but not in the summertime because of my job won't give me enough time to even do one. So September through May. Yeah, generally Sunday afternoons because there's less competition.
Right. The Cooperage is a building where they used to make barrels, right?
Correct.
Right back in the day, and it's turned into sort of an art center, and it's a lovely place, and it's done really beautifully well. And I'm anxious to get back out there once the world is breathing isn't talking.
I hear you.
once breath isn't homicidal.
God.
Yeah. And your other, everything's good with you aside from that too, right? I don't have to worry about you, right? Okay.
Nope, don't have to worry about me. I'm good. I'm in good shape and I'm busy and I do what I got to do, So.
All right, the Cooperage in Pennsylvania, Honesdale, is that the name of the town?
Yep.
Yeah, Pennsylvania. Keep it on your map. Robin and Jenny from Chicago. Put that on your places to visit out there. All right. Well, I'm so happy to see you. I'm so happy to see that you're well. I think about you often, and I don't want to say I worry about you, but I'm glad to see that you're doing okay.
I'm doing okay, and we'll be having you back for sure.
Well, you know what? I appreciate that. You're among the precious few who say that to me, and I believe them.
Well, 2023 is what I'm going to be booking soon. So there we go. Figure, and we should be out of this mess by then. So amen, right?
Right. From what do they say? From your lips to God's ear. All right.
Yeah. Well, it's great to see you.
Thank you, and thanks for stopping by. It's fun.
Yeah. Well, I was on Facebook for a while, and I couldn't find a Zoom link. So then it got, posted on there. So I, I copied and pasted, and here I am.
Yeah, so we'll I'll tell a story in after 8, and we'll unmute people so you'll see how we do this. We have a technician back there, and I can hear people laughing and and all that, and we just kind of monitor to make sure it doesn't get out of hand. So it's been fun for me. Sarah, are you still there? I see that you're off the screen.
I'm here, buddy.
Do you want to introduce this song briefly? Somebody else requested it, but if you want to, the MTV song.
Sure,
Can you
sure.
spotlight her, Brandon, if you don't mind?
Oh. I'm super emotional right now. Um, so I feel like this song is like the quintessential John White song because it will take you on a journey. It will take you through your emotions, ups and downs and all arounds. And it means a lot to me in particular because when I first heard this song played live by Dawn, I was in a part of my life where feelings were really scary. Sorry about that. And I didn't know how to feel more than one feeling in one day. So um, I went to that show and I cried and laughed through that song and I didn't die. I was okay. And so it was kind of like an awakening to me that, you know, feelings aren't going to kill me and that it's okay to, you know, feel really sad and then laugh again. And that's kind of right where I am right now. So um, I love you, John, and I'm so glad you're back here with us.
Oh, I'm so glad, Sarah. You know, I love you too, man. Thank you for that. I appreciate you so much. So, briefly, those of you who don't know this song, it's the most unmarketable song in the history of music. I wrote it deliberately that way, intentionally. I was so mad at my record company at the time. They kept saying, "Don't bore us. Get to the chorus." And I'm like, I'm gonna write a song that only has one note in it. That wasn't my original idea. That was too hard. And then I thought, like, how many rules can I break in songwriting? How can I do everything? How can I do the opposite of what this business is telling me to do? And this, I don't recommend this as a business a model for anybody. It's why, you know, it's why I've acquired my high level of anonymity, is because I'm this way. I just thought. So eventually I wrote this song, and it doesn't have a bridge, it doesn't have a chorus, it has a couple of chords in it. But I thought, can I write a song that has 3 different emotional agendas in it, and see where it goes. And so I was surprised that anybody liked it, and for people to like it as much as Sarah does, and the other person, I think it was Lynn who had asked for this. That means a lot to me because I honestly did it. It's kind of a spite song almost. For I just was resisting the rules of what you're supposed to do. It just bothered me that everything had to have a bridge and a chorus and fit a formula and go to the 5 and all that stuff. So this is called the MTV Love Song. It's the song that was written back when MTV actually had music in it. I am 64, she's 63. I wrote this in my 20s, and now we are both 64 years old here. Tell me that's not too weird. I'm 64, she's 63. Our grandkids were over watching MTV. There were women gyrating all over the screen with some amazing dance moves, if you know what I mean. There was a young man singing a song about love, with these women dancing around him, shaking their stuff. I said, you don't think that I could handle those young wild girls? She said, there ain't enough Viagra in the whole wide world. And then she laughed that laugh that I love so well. It filled the room, it cast a spell. And while they sang about love on MTV, I sat and thought about what love means to me. Sorry. Let's say you get married, you have a little boy. For 3 sweet years he brings you love and joy. But before he turns 4, that kid gets sick. And Jesus comes to take him, takes him real quick. And when they lower him into that cold, dark hole, they bury your heart and they bury your soul. And after that, you walk around like you were still alive, but your heart is underground by that little kid's side. So how could you have known that your heart still lived inside the love of the mother of that little kid? And that when the time was perfect, she would plant the seed in the hole where your old heart used to be. And with the right amount of water, the right amount of sun, she'd bring you back among the living and back among the love. Do you really think a love that is just about sex could ever grow you back a heart that was ripped from your chest? All these stupid young punks in the videos singing songs about love. What the hell do they know? Well, don't get me wrong, I love to see women gyrating on my TV. It is exciting, it's erotic, it's amusing, it's fun. It is a whole lot of things, but it's sure not love. This love I have known, it cannot be explained. It is the kind that finds heaven through the terror and the pain. It is a glance, a whisper, a prayer, it's a smile. It's even some gentle gyrations, you know, every once in a while.
Beautiful, John. Thank you.
That's a great song.
Bravo.
Right. Try to pitch that to a record company sometime if your life is not complicated enough. There you go. But anyway, I'm gonna take just a 3-minute break here, 2 minutes probably. Just go splash some water on my face. If you are able to help me pay Brandon and contribute to the grocery bill over here. I haven't had a real gig now in years, actually. That would be great, but no pressure. Like nobody. I love you whether you got $1 million in the bank or if it's all you can do to scratch together a sandwich to eat. You are welcome with me no matter what is. So never any pressure, never any problem. But those of you that can help out with the grocery bill, I appreciate it. I'll come back and play till about 25 past. Then we'll have our after party. We have Robin and Jenny Benjamin from Chicago are gonna be with us, and I think Eric Kilburn's gonna pop in. If Tim's here, we'll get him to do a poem. We'll see. We'll just kind of make a gathering of it at the end, and so this my part of this is gonna wrap up around 8:30, and then the after party thing is done by 9:30. I have missed you all so much. I have to tell you, whatever you think you're getting out of this, it's multiplied by all of you. To me, I feel nourished by this. So thank you very much. I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Thanks. back. I'm back. Kara, look at you. Well, now it's complete. Look at it. Everybody's here now. Sarah and Kara. Oh, my friend from the Upper Peninsula, Oli. Oh, man, good to see you, buddy. And so, Alan, I got your note. If you want to do a little something in the after party, I would love to have you do that if you're still around here. So, why don't you unmute everybody that's over here? So, because when I read especially, I like to, I lose focus if I can't hear anybody. And I want to show Jill, if she's still with us, what it is that we invented here as an interactive thing. So those of you that are in a relatively quiet place, unmute and say something to me so I know you're there.
Hey, we're
Hi,
here.
Don.
Here.
I am here, Don.
Don.
Hey,
Happy
Don.
to be here.
There you all are. Right.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, performing to a screen and not being able to feel anything back is bad for your mental health. I don't, other people do it. I've had to do it. I can't. If I can hear somebody laughing or applauding or farting or whatever, just some human interaction out there is good for me. That's not an invitation for those of you that ate beans for something here tonight. So this is my book. This is my book. My book is called. My book. Oh, what was that? Go ahead. Say it again. All right. All right. So Brandon, watch out that we don't have the Echo Monster in here today. So this is my book. It's called The Hitchhiking Years and Four Other Stories. This book.
Just ordered it.
Well, thank you. Just so you know, we have a very strict no refund policy. I'm hoping you like it. I'm hoping you like it. But if you don't, I'm keeping the money. Okay, just so you know. People have been very generous about it. So those of you that don't know, this is a picture of my wife and I. If you can see, that's too much glare maybe. We hitchhiked for 3 years, starting when I was 17 years old, and we just got hopelessly addicted to hitchhiking and traveling. And we're still together, and all that we learned during those times was, whatever. I just decided to write about it because I needed I needed the money. People don't buy CDs anymore, but they still buy books, and so what it turned out, I was pretty happy with it, and people have been pretty generous to me, saying that they liked it and that they don't want their money back. So I'm going to read you a piece for all the artists out here, and everybody in one way or another. No matter what you're doing, there's some creative thing in you. That's what brings us all together. So this is there's 4 other stories here. This is from a story called Behind the Wall, which is about me and my dad, and it's in 2 parts. So the first part is called Breaking Up with My Muse. Now, muse, I'm using the word muse not like a woman who is my muse, but just the muse that comes in and gives you a song lyric like that thing, right? That guy. All right. So part 1, Breaking Up with My Muse, for all the artists on my screen, all the hologram artists on my screen. So this is first person. I am talking directly to my muse. I think we need to see other people. Don't look at me like that. You know this has been coming for a long time. I've always thought that this was a partnership, but it has never been that. It has always been about you. What you want, what you need, and what I can do to turn your wants and needs into something real. How many countless, irretrievable hours, days, and weeks have I spent sequestered in a tiny room, torturing myself over what exact words to use on some poem, song, or story idea that you swore was brilliant, only to find out later that it was stupid and not worth 1 minute of time? And where did the time I used to polish these turds come from? Oh, I don't know. Maybe from learning a trade. Without a lifetime of constant distraction, I could have been a plumber. I could have made $50 an hour and be nearing retirement with a full pension. And let's not forget the alienation. You made me skip school at 15 years old and sit in Lynn Woods reading Sid Arthur. I say Sid Arthur. That's like, I'm so concerned about my accent that I think there's an R on every word that's at the end. That I have to, all right. You made me sit in Linwood's reading Siddhartha. Why? You knew I had to live in this town with the sons and daughters of football-loving proletarians, for whom the suspicion that I might possess even a modest vocabulary was all the justification needed to kick my artsy ass. Remember that job I had paving driveways that summer in Maine with that crew of the newly unincarcerated? How long did it take them to figure out? How long did it take them to figure out that I was a weirdo who wrote poetry? Hey, Shakespeare, see that babe walking by? Why don't you write us a sonnet about her ass? Ah, ha, 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 ha. I have suffered merciless harassment and alienation and have been surrounded and tortured by disproportionately empowered illiterates all my life. I'm sick of it. I'm breaking up with you. Never call me again. This is part 2. It's called Apologizing to My Muse. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I didn't mean any of those things I said. I wish I had gone Ambien. Then I could say it was a bad reaction. But it appears that I do not need the support of pharmaceuticals to behave ungraciously, so I have no choice but to own it. I'll understand if you never speak to me again, but just hear me out. The alienation that you filled my formative years with forced me to become an astute observer. Initially, it was a survival skill that allowed me to predict and elude confrontations that might be coming my way, but later that attentiveness helped me to become a writer who could occasionally create work that resonated. I suppose I could go on about our creative accomplishments and the fulfilling and interesting life we have created, but all I have been able to think about today is the word home. When I was a boy and my dad was whiskey drunk, I would be awakened from the sweet dreams of youth by angry voices, and there, in the vulnerable half-conscious twilight between dream and day, as I was free-falling toward the awakened world, and before I could don the armor my mind had created to shield my unhardened heart, I knew the terror of a rabbit being carried to the fox den. At the moment before transitioning to the physical world, I would feel that you, my inner voice, my trusted consigliere, my hiding place, my brilliant and tenacious enemy of conventional wisdom, were there beside me. And through the comfort of knowing that you had watched over me as I slept, I would hear your voice whisper into my undefended dusk one single word: home. On the walk to school those mornings, we would write songs and stories, and I belonged. Not at the school I attended, not at our church, not with the children I played with, but with you. Because of you, home has been with me for every mile of my life's journey. Thank you for the survival skills, for the unique way of seeing the world, for the ability to describe my world in a way that can resonate, and for a home that knows no walls, and from which I hopefully will never be evicted.
Yeah.
Beautiful, Dawn. Woo!
Yay.
Sweet.
Thank you. So, if you want to pick up a copy of the book, you can go to donwhite.net and I'll mail it right out to you and sign it for you. It makes a good gift for your dysfunctional friends.
That's true, it does.
Yeah.
It's like, if you could tap the dysfunctional friend market, you'd be a millionaire, right? Look at your friends, like how many of them fit into the dysfunctional category? Like, if I could sell something to every person I know, dysfunctional friends, I'd be a millionaire.
Well, some of us are our friends' dysfunctional friends.
But I've been on both sides of it too. I've been the person helping out the dysfunctional friend, and I have been the dysfunctional friend being helped out as well. All right, so Kara's here. I'm gonna play this for her. This is called Woodstock Memories. Jenny's grandma went to Woodstock back in 1969. She keeps her ticket stub and a chunk of mud at her house in the little shrine. She was always the girl in the hippie dress twirling at the shows by the Grateful Dead. If you ask her about it, man, you better sit down. Grandma will talk the ears right off your head. If you get her talking about the Grateful Dead, the Summer of Love, or the Kool-Aid acid test. Jenny was always in her glory when she could hear the stories from her grandma's hippie friends about peace and love, taking care of one another, how great it all was back then. And at night she would dream of being on the bus with Keezy, seeing Jimmy in 69. But when she wasn't dreaming, she always had the feeling that somehow she'd been born in the wrong time. You know, you should have been 20 in 1969. All the gray-haired hippies say that all the time. But the cool grandchildren of the cool young women who danced in the Woodstock mud are living on the beach in Montezuma, Costa Rica, having all kinds of fun singing. There's only 1 minute, if you're not living in it, it's never coming back again. I love you, Grandma, but Baba Ram Dass never said be there then. It's gonna take a big leap of faith if you really want to find your tribe. Those were the first words that Jenny heard in a song that she found online. And that summer she drove all the way to Minnesota to the Shangri-La Festival. And there they all were, all the people like her, who grew up believing that they were all alone. They said, hey girl, welcome home. Because the cool grandchildren of the cool young women who danced in the Woodstock mud are driving down the road to Minnesota. Man, they're having all kinds of fun singing. Jimmy and Jerry are dead and buried, and they're never coming back again. I love you, Grandma, but Baba Ram Dass never said be there then. Jenny's grandma went to Woodstock in 1969, and since then she believed there was never going to be a better time, and that's alright. But if you don't take your big leap of faith and get out there and find your scene, it will pass you by while you are trying to find your grandma's long gone Woodstock memories. Her Woodstock memories. While the cool grandchildren of the cool young women who danced in the Woodstock mud are living on the beach in Montezuma, Costa Rica, having all kinds of fun singing. There's only 1 minute, if you're not living in it, it's never coming back again. I love you, Grandma, but Baba Ram Dass never said be there then.
Woo!
Yay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every time I play that song, someone talks to me about having gone to Woodstock or something. But you know, and I'm glad about that for them. But I wrote it because I started open mic 12 years ago, designed specifically for young people who were homeless and that wouldn't go to express themselves anywhere else. You know, they wouldn't go to a church or the social workers or anything, and they would come to me because I let them say whatever they wanted and do whatever they wanted. So we drew in all these sort of feral young people, and they found their voices there because we created a space where there was no language restrictions, which is a very powerful thing. If you're you ever know anyone in that business trying to reach the unreachable kids, that's one of the things you can do is as soon as you say to them, you can't say that here, and that includes political correctness or whatever, as soon as you say that to them, the kids you're really trying to get, they're gone. They hear that the same way that I heard my dad telling me that my country, right or wrong, when I was a kid. He was right as far as he was concerned, but I didn't want to hear it. No, I wanted to say whatever I wanted to say. And so in that group, there would be young people, 16 or 17, and they'd be carrying around Janis Joplin albums and thinking that they missed everything that was good. And it bothered me a lot. And because my age group was reinforcing it, that, unwittingly telling these people that the world was cooler before, and it wasn't. It was like it's provably not true. It's a better world now. As messed up as it is, you couldn't be gay and get married back then. You get 10 years for 2 joints. There was all kinds of reasons why. The little Woodstock moment was sort of glorified beyond. It sort of ignores the rest of the stuff. And I would just try to tell them that there's much cooler things going on now, but you have to go find them. And eventually, several of them came and told me that I was the first older person that ever said anything like that to them, and that they were grateful. And then they would show me these cool festivals they're going to, and the Levitate Festival. You ever heard of that over here? And Shangri-La out in Minnesota is like a mini Woodstock. It's just they're all so cool, but you have to go find them. And I just didn't want to be another old person sort of doing that to them, So I'm gonna play this one song, and then I'll take just a short break, and we'll come back with our after party. I want to thank you all for supporting me and other live musicians. If you're a live musician, if you're a performing musician, and you didn't put a bunch of money away, or you weren't in a good situation, I don't know how you made it in these last 2 years. Honestly, I don't know how you did it. So those of you that bought their products, bought their books, bought their CDs, go to their live stream things, you're probably keeping those people alive in some way, keeping them at least from having to give up what they love. So it really means something, and I love you. They're the best little army of misfits I've ever seen. And I'm grateful to have you all. Honestly, I end with this song a lot, but I want to do it tonight. There's some new folks here, and so this song is the last song that I wrote. It's called "That's What Makes You Beautiful," and it's for everybody who was raised by people who weren't well enough or smart enough or conscious enough or to teach, to show kindness or to show compassion, to teach generosity of spirit. And if that was no judgment on those people, right? But if you grew up that way, but you turned out to be kind or generous of spirit, this song is for you. I acknowledge the miracle of what you accomplished because you had to find it in yourself. And so again, it's wordy, it's got a lot of words in it, but I've been hanging around poets, and they infected me with that. You were taught by your world that empathy and kindness were the kind of things that made a person weak. They said push and grab and fight every minute of your life, and trample those between you and what you believe you need. From the moment you were born, in your heart there was a song you could hear through all the years of fear and insecurity, singing cruelty is always weak, but love and empathy are strong enough to break the chains of selfishness and greed. Gentle is the strongest thing to be. You know it is not your fault that heroin and alcohol made them both too children what they really need. But it sure would have been nice to be encouraged once or twice, to feel safe at night, or to have a life with just a little normalcy. From the moment you were born, in your heart there was a song you could hear through all those years of fear and insecurity. When you feel hatred in your heart, you just remember who you are, and that underneath the weight of hate, your heart cannot be free. Forgiving is the stronger thing to be. It's not the color of your eyes, it's not your hypnotizing smile, it's not any of the many things that everyone can see. It's the way you always knew what they told you was. It's how you made yourself the person that they taught you not to be. That's what makes you beautiful to me. A young man's eyes see beauty in what is on the surface, not within. He will walk past what is beautiful to be near the thing that shines. But the old man's eyes see beauty in the story, in the journey. They have seen too much to be fooled by what attracts a young man's eyes. From the moment you were born, in your heart there was a song you could hear through all those years of fear and insecurity. There was nothing that this world could do to crush the love inside of you. Under neglect, abuse, and selfishness, you were caring, kind, and generous. It is the lonely road that brought you here. It's how all alone you persevere. It's the defiance and tenacity of your heart song of humanity. That's what makes you beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful to me. Thanks for a great night.
Woo! Very nice, Dawn.
Thank you. All right, so let me go splash some more water on my face, and 1 minute, 2 minute break. If you can throw a few bucks in the Venmo or something, that would be great. Again, no pressure. I love you either way. The information to do that is in your chats, your respective chats. Those of you on the other platforms, Facebook, and we know that you're over there. You're welcome to come and join us, or you could hang out over there in the Witness Protection Program if you choose to do that. And those of you over here in YouTube, you again are welcome to come over to Zoom so that you can yell at me in between songs, as these folks are so so willing to do. But again, you can stay over there anonymously. We'll continue streaming for a while, and we have our special guests, and you never know who's going to pop in. I talked to Jimmy Tingle. He said he might show up, and we'll try to get Alan to do something. If Tim maybe will do a poem. You know, it's a way to feel like we're going to Jill's house after the show and hanging around and playing some songs and all like that. So I love you. Thank you for
Hello? Oh,
me
excuse me.
as well, and I'll see you in just a
Hello.
minute or two. All right. So let's see. Brandon, have you seen Eric Kilburn show up yet?
Yep,
Hey,
Eric's
Don.
here.
Hey, there he is. So this is the after party, ladies and gentlemen. This is the part where we simulate what we would be doing after the gig, right? We'd be hanging around somebody's house and playing some music and laughing and telling stories and gossiping. Well, maybe we'll gossip a little bit. But anyway, I thought I saw we have two guests today that I asked to come. I think we'll start with my friend Eric. Eric, are you set?
Yeah.
Eric is a sound engineer, so we didn't do a sound check, but I'm trusting that he's 100% perfect over there. So first thing is I saw that Eric has a show tomorrow night, and so I'll tell you what, why don't you play a tune, and then the next time through we'll talk about, after people see how fabulous you are, we'll start to drive them to your concert. How's that sound?
Cool. So Don, here's a question for you. Were you on a light tune or a dark tune?
I never really respond to that when musicians do that to me from the stage. I'm like, what do you want to do?
Okay. I think I'll start with a lighter one.
All right, that's a good plan. So Eric is somebody I go way back with. He's quite a good musician and quite a good sound engineer too. If you're ever near Central, I guess it'd be Metro West, right? Acton, Mass, out that way.
Metro West is about right. Yeah.
Yeah, he really knows what he's doing. Has recorded all kinds of people, but he's got great songs and he's a good guy. And
thanks.
So what do you got for us, Eric?
I've had the pleasure of recording Don White's way back in 1989.
Made me sound better than I was, which was not an easy feat back then, was it?
So I'll play you this. My wife's a little mad at me tonight because I've turned the living room into a video studio. So she has to sort of trip over a tripod and microphone cables and stuff. So I'm going to play you this tune about sort of the story of our relationship. As soon as I get this guitar in tune.
Well, when I used to run an open mic, I would say that tuning counts as a song, just so you know. So you're down to 2 songs now, but
yeah, right.
Bob Dylan's songs count as 2. Go ahead, Brandon.
So this is a tune that I'm married to a woman who dumped me 3 times over a 12-year period. And this is kind of the story of that saga. And so if anybody out there is sort of nursing a wound of a romantic nature, maybe this song will give you some hope. I don't know. It's called Smarter. The first time I met you, I was 3 days 19. I just come 2,000 miles on my thumb. You were a woman like I had never seen. I started laying plans and playing dumb. We walked to the park with my aphrodisiac guitar. I played you blackbird, wild horses, fire and rain. I'd heard that gentle music could charm a woman's heart, and for a couple of weeks it sure did seem that way. Our love has been a dance, more than once I missed my chance. Got a little peanut butter and jelly sandwich in my throat here. Our love has been a dance, more than once I missed my chance. I saw you and one glance was all it took. Sometimes I tried too hard, other times I played the martyr, but I got you 'cause I'm smarter than I look. You were so full of light, full of passion, full of fight. There were worlds to save and barricades to climb. And you lit a lasting spark, though twice you broke my teenage heart, and I did not appreciate it at the time. A dozen years went by before I looked you in the eyes. We grew closer once again, and then you ran. But the door did not quite close, you left it open, I suppose. Next thing I knew, I was after you again. Our love has been a dance, more than once I missed my chance. I saw you and one glance was all it took. Sometimes I tried too hard, other times I played the martyr, but I got you 'cause I'm smarter than I look. 3 times you left me, 3 times I did return. The 4th time around you chased me in the end. There's something to be said for a man who will not learn and ignores the advice of all his friends. You still keep me on my toes, you still look down your nose at my habits that you someday hope to break. And you drive me crazy too, it's a 2-step that we do. 30 years along, it's a love song that we make. Our love has been a dance, more than once you missed your chance. You saw me and 14 years was all it took. Sometimes I tried too hard, other times I played the martyr, but I got you 'cause I'm smarter than I look. I got you 'cause I'm smarter than I look.
Beautiful. Nicely done.
Woo! That's great, Eric.
Woohoo, nice song.
Wow.
I know that you have hitchhiking in your past too, Don, and
Sure do.
I met this woman after I'd hitchhiked 2,000 miles in 2 days from Colorado, heading back to school, and she was on the bookstore on the landing between the 1st and 2nd floor, and it's like the song goes. I was smitten.
Yeah. Well, rhyming hard and martyr just studied for me, so I'm good. I'm good. I love that.
Right.
That was really nice, and it's a nice tribute too. So hopefully she won't kick your mic over and tell you to get out of the living room before it's all over here.
Yeah.
Briefly, we'll put the information in the chats, but you're going to be doing something for Dean Stevens tomorrow.
Yeah, Dean and the Community Church of Boston are doing a weekly Friday night concert series from early January to late March, and
Doing the whole
Friday
night
night it's
with some other folks, or
yeah, a bunch of people. Bob Lucas played last week. Susie Burnett, member of Storm and Norman and Susie, way back when. Did a show about 2 weeks ago. A bunch of folks, various folk singers that Dean knows.
But the night is your night, right?
The night is my night tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm playing 2 whole sets, which is
wonderful. So that information is in the chats, everybody, and we'll get back around to Eric. Let's give him a nice round of applause and thank him for joining us, everybody. All right, so now representing the middle of this country here, let me find them. So I can't remember exactly where I met these folks. Maybe at a folk alliance or something. But I sort of was smitten by them right away, and they've come a few times now and performed for us. And Jenny's got the job that's keeping her out at night later now, so I'm glad that she made it. So this is Jenny and Robin Benjamin. It says it right there underneath there. I'm not sure whose name to say first, but now I'm just reading it right off the screen here. So it could be Robin and Jenny Benjamin too. I'm glad that you're here. I know Robin has a new album, and Jenny, you have a book, and we'll get to all that. But why don't you guys start us off with a tune?
And that guitar. Can you hear us, by the way?
Yes.
All right. So I had a brutal sound check trying to get a microphone to work, and we spent way too much time trying to make it work. And then after the sound check, I got it to work. So the sound check has no bearing on whatever this sounds like. So hopefully it will sound very nice. So we've been, Don has been saying how much he missed us. I have not missed Don one bit because his literary voice has been rattling around in my head for this week as I've been reading The Hitchhiking Years, and it's just a brilliant, brilliant book, so beautiful. And at the heart of it is just a beautiful love story of a couple of freaks, and that has inspired me to play this song. Well, a weird-looking guy walks into a bank, up to the counter and orders a drink. It's a bank, not a bar, says the teller, but you seem nice. She walks to the back, opens the vault, peeks around the corner so she won't get caught, and emerges with glasses of champagne and a bucket of ice. A beautiful girl with a weird-looking guy. A beautiful girl with a weird-looking guy. Well, a weird-looking guy, a beautiful girl walks hand in hand with a weird-looking guy, strange little man, a sidewalk of raised eyebrows in their wake. Oh, well, a weird-looking guy sure looks weird next to a perfect vision of loveliness, and the world suspects there must be some mistake. A beautiful girl with a weird-looking guy. A beautiful girl with a weird-looking guy. Well, the weird-looking guy reveals that he's scared. Well, she's so pretty and he's so weird. Well, a beautiful girl says, let's take a walk on the moon. Well, hand in hand and brow to brow, they look up at the world, say, who's weird now? Well, everybody who's not with me, that's who. Said the beautiful girl to the weird-looking guy. Said the beautiful girl to the weird-looking guy. Guy with a beautiful girl, they walk on the moon, look down at the world and drink a toast to all the raised eyebrows down below. She's a gorgeous but nervous. He's weird but he's smart. Well, they're both so excited that this might work out, and together they will navigate the craters, and off they go. A beautiful girl with a weird looking guy. A beautiful girl with a weird looking guy.
Awesome.
There you go.
Nice.
That was awesome.
Good job.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here with you guys. Super fun.
Just want to say, Don, thank you for giving me the experience of giving Robin something he really wanted for Christmas, which was your book. As soon as I saw that come across the transom, I dropped what I was doing. I got that book, and then I hid it. Because he works at home and I don't. So he sees all the packages that come into the house.
That's right. Every day I sit right near the front door and I hear boom, boom, boom. And then they're gone, but they leave a package behind. So
Well, I'll tell you what comes to mind when you say that is that I'm glad he likes it. That's a lot to go through for a ho-hummer of a book. Do you know what I mean?
That book is not a ho-hummer.
That is an American classic, man. I'm sure of it. Really.
Well, thank you. As everybody that comes every week knows, they watch me torture myself through the whole process of writing it and all that. So I'm really happy now that people are enjoying it. Just that last song that you sang is gonna be in my head forever. Like that chorus and oh my God, it's like, you know, just really nicely done. So. We'll go around one more time, two more times, and next time we'll talk about your new CD, and we'll talk about Jenny's book, right? Jenny, you have a relatively new book, right? And we'll do that now. But for now, everybody, unmute yourselves just for a second and applaud these people. Make them feel... Have some cyber fun. All right. So now I want to ask my friend Alan to do a story for us. Alan DeBay. Alan, how do you pronounce your last name? Just so I always do it right.
DeBay.
DeBay. Alan DeBay is one of the nicest people that I've ever met. He lives in Kansas. And I mean that, and I've met a lot of nice people, really, but Alan is really, and he's just good to everybody. If you're an artist and he likes what you're doing, he'll buy your product, he'll help you get work. He's just a sweet person, and he's actually a very good storyteller, which I learned when I went to Kearney, Nebraska, and he was sort of a guest there, and I was just really impressed with him. And the last gig that I did before COVID was in Downs, Kansas, for him and his friends, as COVID was like a cloud of COVID was coming up over the hills. Well, they don't have hills in Kansas, not much, but it was coming across the plains for us there. And he's just a lovely man, and your life is a little bit better for knowing him, however you get to know him. And I'm always happy to hear him tell a story. So, Alan, if you've got one you want to do, let's have it.
Max, I'm actually just going to do a short poem tonight.
Good.
If I Could See You by Alan DeBay. If I could really see you, would you be walking or swimming in an ocean or flying across the sky? Would I see you swimming like an all-knowing dolphin, reciting the philosophy of now and then, and telling me the reality of our world? Would you be a peacock flying over a rainbow, dropping a tear of peace, blurring the colors of our existence? If you were flying on a bad day, would I see you sputter or fly a little lower so that I could give you a hug? On a good day, could gravity even hold you, or would you be found in the stratosphere, wrapped in between the layers of hot and cold, sleeping on an aromatic cloud of love?
Oh, Alan, that was lovely.
Woo! That was beautiful, Alan. Thank you.
Wow. So, like I miss this. Like, I enjoy performing and all that, but really the pleasure for me of doing all these, I think we did 60 or 70 of them in a row there, was to, the surprises that would pop up in the after party. So let's have a nice thank you to Alan, please, everybody.
Thank you, Alan.
Thanks,
you.
Ellen.
All right, so Eric, let's talk about what's going on in your world. So you have this gig tomorrow night. Let me just talk just for a minute about Dean Stevens, who runs that venue over there. He's the most amazing man. He grew up in Costa Rica. He speaks Spanish. His job is to be a court interpreter in Lynn, actually. He comes in and everyone that he translates in court. He has a sister city in El Salvador where he gathers up mostly folk singers and ne'er-do-wells, and they go down there and help out, build things, do all sorts of things in El Salvador once a year. He's just a remarkable man, and he presents music that he likes, and I've been lucky to be among the people that he's hired over the years, and it's and what's it called? The church? What's the series?
So it's called the Community Church of Boston, and it's been around since 1920, and they're kind of like a commie church. I mean, that's somewhat pejorative, but they've been like champions of civil rights and progressive causes for over 100 years, and their church membership rolls were investigated by the House On-American Activities Committee, and they have other bona fides, like that in their past. And so Dean is like on the board there and does a lot of work with them. They're kind of loosely affiliated with the Unitarians, but it's more of a church where every Sunday they have a discussion about some social issue.
It's really quite remarkable if you ever get to see it. And just this one last thing just because if you see the building, it's probably worth how many millions of dollars?
Right.
It's in Kendall Square, not Kendall Square,
Copley Square.
Copley Square, like the most expensive hunk of property in Massachusetts, right? And there's this old junky building that was the church, and they just won't give it up. They won't, they won't give it to, to somebody to make it some jewelry store or something like that. And when you see it, you know it. You're like, this thing doesn't belong here anymore. But the way they feel about it is none of the things around them belong there. So the Community Church of Boston in Copley Square, it's on Boylston Street, worth knowing about. All right, Eric, so you're there tomorrow night. Why don't you play a tune for us?
Sure. I just want to say thank you to Jenny and Robin. I've never heard your music before, but I really loved your song. And it also just reminded me, like the way you phrase it, it sounds like a Don White song. It's like, did you notice that about it? It just made me laugh. It feels like you've got the timing and the sort of nuance and phrasing. It's like, I don't know.
I learned it from them, really.
No higher compliment, honestly. Thank you.
And that's a Robin Benneman song. He wrote that one.
It's great. It's just great. So this is a tune that I finished up recently. I've had a bad few weeks of luck with friends of mine dying, and I lost 3 friends in December. Bill Staines and Scott Alaric and David Surratt, all wonderful musicians and writers and people that I had known either by playing with them or producing concerts of them. I produced my first concert with Bill Staines in 1981, and I did, I think, 3 others after that first one. And Scott Alaric made a record at my studio, and I've known him for years. And David Surratt's just an amazing guitar player. And so anyway, it's been sort of a kind of a lousy month, but this song kind of is my attempt to kind of cope with some of that. It's called Nobody Told Me. Nobody told me about this part, the burden that comes with a beating heart. When you love someone so deep and long, turn around and they're gone. We wail to the heavens, we rage at God, we shake with the power of a lightning rod as we gather here, crying in the pews for all the things we don't get to choose. Nobody told me about this ache. I shake my head like there's some mistake, some bad dream I will awaken from, and I'll hear your laughter once again. And we search for the answers, but the questions are wrong, and all we can do is carry on, reminded why the old man sings the blues. For all the things we have to lose. We come so far, forever tempting fate. We thought we were in charge, that was our first mistake. Nobody told me about this love. Was it something I should have been scared of? The risks we somehow have to take, and the best choices we could ever make. So we open ourselves, and life comes in. It's a roll of the dice, and the odds are slim that we ever get out of this place without paying dues. For all the things don't get to choose, for all the things we have to lose.
Oh, that was beautiful, Eric. Thank you.
Very, very nice.
Good job on that one. So Scott Alaric was a very dear friend of mine. Like that one punched me in the stomach. Maybe at the end I'll read something that I wrote for him. You know, Scott. I never went more than 3 months without having lunch with him. We did comedy together. Did Catch a Rabbit. I mean, it's tough. He just went to bed and had a heart attack, and it was just like it was a surprise. So, nicely done, beautiful, very thoughtful, and very elegant, Eric. Thank you so much. One more time, please, for Eric.
Thanks, Eric.
All right, so back to the middle of the country. So, let me look at you guys here. So, Robin, why don't you talk to us about your new recording? It's pretty new, right?
It is new.
Yeah. So
yeah, this is it.
What's the name of it?
Is that backwards on your screen, possibly? It's called Animal Communicator.
Animal Communicator, which is an intriguing title, I must say.
Yeah. So it's got a collection. In the middle of this album, there are 4, maybe 5 songs that are animal related. I get invited. We do an annual kind of ecologically focused songwriting thing every year, and write songs about extinct animals generally, or animals that are almost extinct or having trouble. So at the heart of it are the funniest songs about animal extinction that you've ever heard, and just all kinds of stuff. And I'll say, for people who, if you haven't been buying CDs, I will say, if you've been listening to Spotify and stuff, like, this is just a beautiful package. Just as a package, it's beautiful. So
you can hang it on the wall.
Exactly right. Yeah. Work of art.
People can pick that up by going where?
Yeah, you go to my website, which is robinb, as in boy.org. You can find it there, and you can find everything I'm doing there. So yeah, really happy with it, and we somewhere somewhere between Delta and Omicron, we were able to put together a show and actually have a kind of a proper celebration. The record was actually finished. We finished recording it. I'm not exaggerating. We finished recording like on Friday the 13th, which was March 13th of 2020, which is the day that Illinois shut down for COVID, which we were sure was going to last till the middle of the next week. And so it took some effort to get it out there properly, but yeah, real happy with it.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Talking about Delta and the variants, as soon as they called it Delta, I was thinking that Delta Airlines is going to, demand that the next one is called the JetBlue variant. That's my COVID joke. Ta-da! All right, Jenny, let's talk about your book, the Haiku Book. So this is a really unique idea in the world. So why don't you enlighten us with that, if you don't mind?
Well, there's so many creative artists in this room. I'm sure you understand what it's like to just be walking through your life and wishing you had more time to be creative. So about 4 years ago, I just decided I was going to take a picture of something and write a haiku to it and post it on social media. And that has grown into 2 books of Haiku Milieu, volumes 1 and 2. And that's photo and haiku. And then it also grew into this book, which is a wee tiny little book that fits in your hand. And this book is called Reckoning. So if on social media, I'm known for having a slightly pervasive, shall we say, inspirational tone, in Reckoning, I say, Haiku Milieu Volume 1 and 2 is the gift you give to someone. Reckoning is the book you keep with you. And I will read you one at random to tell you what I mean. Ready?
Yes.
Being yourself is the last thing you want to be when you are lonely.
Oh, nicely done.
Anyway, this book is full of that. And they're all at jennybeneman.com or haikumilieu.com. And it's gone crazy. I've invited songwriters to write songs based on these haikus. Don White is among the people to whom I have issued an invitation. But this man is busy. Do you understand? He's been writing a book. Then he's been shipping the book to all of us. So I don't even know how he has time to get ready for this show.
Maybe he could write a book inspired by one of your poems. He doesn't have time to write a song.
He doesn't have time to write a song, but he could write a book.
Yeah, maybe.
So.
I think it's really cool. I recommend it to everybody. Will you guys do another tune for us?
Well, we will. If it's okay, I'm going to do this song because it was sort of inspired by our dear friend who played earlier. His wife saying, the concern that his wife was going to knock over. What's happening, bud? We just, Let's see. Something just popped up on our screen. We got a little pop-up there. There we go. Okay. So, during COVID times, which are still COVID times, the only entertainment we had was watching TV. So we both worked at home. We'd, at the end of the day, we'd meet up somewhere and wind up down here where we are with you now, in the living room. Well, invariably, one or both of us would fall asleep on the couch. The other person would migrate to other points north, shall we say. And one day Robin said to me, it's not fair to the bed how much I love sleeping on the couch. And I said, that sounds like the next song we should write together. And he said, yeah. And so then we were having breakfast and he was talking about something and I was listening, but I was also using my thumbs. And I said, can I read you something? And I had written this song. It's not fair to the bed how much I love falling asleep on the couch. Maybe it's the couch, or maybe I just think my problems would disappear if I go to sleep down here. I do something, you say something, and neither of us can get free. So here I sit on the couch thinking of you, trying to watch TV. It's not fair to the news how I can't keep my mind off of you. I keep waiting for them to say one thing true, like you did to me when you said I had hurt you. You do something, I say something. Now neither of us is gonna get free. So here I sit on the couch thinking of you, trying to sleep. I close my eyes and I start to dream. You're the sand and I'm the sea. I'm a wave that goes crashing on your shore. A long, long time. A long time. It's not fair to the stars how close we are when they're so far apart. They can do no more. You're just up a floor. So I get up off the couch and now I'm outside our bedroom door.
Beautiful, Jenny, beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you so much for that. Let's hear one more time for Jenny, please, everybody.
Very nice.
Yeah, this is good. I mean, this is really good. I'm feeling nourished here tonight. So I wonder if Tim Mason would do a little prose for us here. Tim, where are you? You still here?
I'm still here.
So Tim is representing New Mexico today via Massachusetts and, well, you know, Utah, right?
That's right.
All right. So why don't you give us some words and then we'll do our sort of lightning round and tuck everybody in after.
Okay. Well, Robin's story about the extinct animals kind of put me in mind of an experience that I had. And I also have an affinity for non-human voices, and I did a whole book called Feral Voices. But at one point, I got the opportunity to perform up in Toronto at a club called the Hughes Room. And it was a benefit for the SPCA up in Canada, and they called it the Furry Folk Festival. And I thought through my repertoire, and I did not have any poems about furry critters. So I started to write one, and I actually ended up with a worm. So this is the worm pump. Hiding in the sludge, we make our ways through tunnels unseen to visions unseen by human eyes. Moving earth through our bodies, we swim through the soil, excreting to nourish roots that break topsoil, bringing us communion with the sky. It is a simple thing we do that matters to the trees that breathe life through this suffocating orb of rock and ozone whose seismic gyrations erupt, flipping the script on mammals whose brains delude them to the fantasy of importance. We do not brag nor aggrandize. We will never boast. We eat earth. Let our bodies grow into separate beings, dividing when the going gets extreme. We begin again to feed the trees in the slow exhale of being alive. For we know that to be free is to be a tree, to reach for the heavens and find them. New life through the cycles and seasons of changes, and yet to be constant with purpose, to grow and become what you are. To be free is to be a tree.
Beautiful, beautiful, Tim. Nicely done.
Beautiful. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Woo!
All right, Tim,
Yeah.
Tim Mason, you can find everything he's up to in the 8:30 Club. Brandon, you'll put that information in there. All right.
And I also have my own poetry website, timothydmason.com.
What's the initial?
It's timothydmason.com, and there's some recorded poems there as well.
Yeah, is it possible to get a hold of that album anymore that you did with Bartley, where he did the music behind you and you did the spoken word?
Yeah, I've still got a few Bones and Breath. It just, you can only get it through me. I also have two with Bartley. One where I read and he just mixed music behind it. The second one where we actually combined Jeff's songs and my poems into combined pieces. That's called Bones and Breath. And then I have another one that I did with my friend Tom Begich from Anchorage, Alaska, Bone Collectors. It's the same melding of song and poem together.
It's very creative, and I recommend these pieces of work. And I think if there's a few in his house, you got to snag one, because doesn't matter how good they are. The way of the CD is the way of the dodo now. So you can reach out to Tim Mason and pick up his stuff. Fantastic poetry with unbelievable music, either behind it or blended together. It's hard to explain, but I'm telling you, it's masterful. All right, Tim, thank you. All right, Eric.
Thank you, Darb.
You're welcome. I love you. So, Eric, it's the lightning round. No bullshit. 1, 2, 3. Go, folk singer, go. I can't hear you, Eric. Yeah.
There we go. Thanks, Don, for having me. You don't mean for me to sing one right now. You just mean we're saying goodbye and good night.
No, I mean sing one.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you got it.
I mean, we're not going to talk a lot. We're going to get everybody tucked in by 9:30.
Here's a song inspired by Jeff Bartley. Late night on the highway, trying to stay awake. My mind turns over the fun and mistakes as I started dreaming about my old girlfriends. I'd like to see you all one more time again. You could tell me a story, I would be convinced. Say you had no one better before or since. You might be lying, that'd be okay. Time is a great deceiver, and I like it that way. I remember Sandy, she was number one. She was older and graceful, I was desperate and young. Now good loving takes an hour, I took a minute and a half. Sandy was kind and had a good sense not to laugh. Then there was Susan, she had a smile so sweet. She said, come on over, we'll play trick or treat. Then she got out the handcuffs and the candles too. I didn't know what S&M was, and now I do. Would you tell me a story? I would be convinced. Say you had no one better before or since. You might be lying, that'd be okay. Time is a great deceiver, and I like it that way. So come over here, darling, like you used to do. Forget I'm married, forget I'm married to you. Let's get real close now, till the morning breaks. Maybe we can fall asleep before the baby wakes. My wife tells me a story, I am convinced. Says she's had no one better before or since. Hope she ain't lying, that'd be okay. Time is a great deceiver, and I like it that way. Time is a great deceiver, and I like it that way.
Woo! Thanks, Eric.
Thank you, guys.
Nicely done.
Woo!
Thanks,
Good luck.
Eric.
Good luck tomorrow. Tell Dean I was asking for him.
Yeah.
All right. So
Hey, did it sound okay? This is my sound check for tomorrow. Did it come through okay?
yeah, I think your sound is quite good, actually.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Good job, and good luck, and maybe we'll be face to face before you know it. You know,
Let's hope.
that really does. That song did remind me of Jeff Bartley, and now I'm thinking of his song. You know, One Kind Word, right?
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was absolutely touches of barley in there. The wry humor and subtleties of getting to know S&M was truly Bartley inspired.
Jeff Bartley, for those of you that don't know, is a legend here in the New England area. Maybe the best Delta fingerstyle player that there is around here, I would say. He used to do a show at a rib joint in Brighton, and he would put 4 pieces of paper on the table that every line of each page was a Delta blues song, basically, and you could just pick it, and he would just play it, say, how about number 29, play that, and he wouldn't just play it, he'd be like, this was by Lemon Jefferson, he recorded it in Indiana in 1927 in a little place called this, and he's like an encyclopedia of music. We've tried desperately to get him to come here, but his technology ineptitude is legendary. We spent hours trying to get him to figure out how to get online. We just couldn't. But if you ever get to see him or whatever, he's really something. Thank you, Eric, for the great songs. Good luck tomorrow night. Let's hear it one more time for Eric Kilburn, everybody. All right. So Jenny and Robin and Jenny, why don't you guys take us home here? And thanks everybody for welcoming me back to the world. I missed you all, and this was really very heartwarming, from beginning to end. So go ahead, guys. What do you got?
It's super fun to be here. This is a song about living with another songwriter, right?
Why not?
Kind of, yeah. Got a brand new song. It's not like the old one. It's a real sad song about a terrible thing that I'm having some trouble forgetting. And it starts out on the day we met. Remember last July? At dinner in Chinatown. That's the last good time we had. By the end of the summer, it all had gone bad. Well, at least I have this brand new song. And it's all about you.
It's all about you.
It's all about you.
It's all about you.
It's all about you. Got a brand new song and it's all about you. I've got a brand new friend. She's not at all like you. She got a PhD and a short haircut and she's banned all over the world. But got a brand new song and it's not about her. Cause it's all about you.
It's all about you.
It's all about you.
It's all about you.
It's all about you. It's all about you. Got a brand new song and it's all about you. Asked you first. I hope you don't mind too much. Well, it must be weird to have an old boyfriend sing a song with his rock and roll dance band on the subject of our failed romance. And it's all about you.
It's all about you.
It's all about you.
It's all about you.
It's all about you. It's all about you. Got a brand new song and it's all about you. Yeah, it's all about you.
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 It's not about me.
It's all about you.
It's all about.
Got a brand new song and it's all about you.
Beautiful.
Right.
Thanks so much for having us. What a treat it has been to be here with everybody. And Don, thank you for making this place for all of us to gather.
I know I'm gonna do it through February and see how I feel about it, but I missed it. You know, I was at my wit's end by the time I had to give it up. You know, but now I think it's time to fall back in love with Zoom. You know, Zoom was like the girlfriend that was good to you. You know, but you gave her up for somebody for live performing. You know, like, hey, we're gonna go live performing. Sorry, old girlfriend. She but now we're crawling back, aren't we? Like, we realized that she took better care of us and she was there, you know. So I think it's time to fall back in love with Zoom. You know, we're privileged to live in a time when we can see each other and all that. What would this have been worth to somebody in 1918 during that?
Wow.
Right.
You know what I mean, like, can you imagine, like, if you could just propose this to somebody during the flu epidemic of that time? So that's my feeling now. And I'm glad to hear you and see you. Let me play one quick one, and we'll get out.
Don, you got to tell us how the house is.
Okay, so those of you that don't know, I've been a guy lived in the city all my life. So Brandon, will you